Never Knew I Wanted to Be a Breast Cancer Survivor by Rebecca J. Hogue. Episode 2, What Should I Hope For? It's June 12th, 2014. After arriving home on the day I first heard those fateful words, "You have breast cancer," I sit on the couch holding my iPad. I take a deep breath. I navigate to the video chat app and search for Mom's name. I touch the button. My mom's iPad starts ringing. I'm glad that I convinced my father to buy her an iPad for her birthday. It has made the move to California easier, as she can see me when we're talking. It will be easier for her to see that I'm okay as I go through treatment. But today, it also makes the conversation more difficult. Mom answers and I immediately burst into tears. "Is everything okay? What's wrong?" she asks. "I have breast cancer." This is the first time I've said it out loud. The first time I've told anyone. "What?" she says. She cannot believe what she's hearing. I tell her what the radiologist told me. I have a 4.5 centimeter lump on my left breast and a 2.5 centimeter lump in my right breast. It's the most difficult conversation I've ever had. I feel like I'm breaking her heart as I tell her what is happening to me. My empathy for how she's feeling is extreme, and not something that I'm accustomed to feeling. Years later, I'll reflect back and describe this as the hardest thing I've ever had to do. In 2023, when I'm diagnosed with breast cancer a second time, I'm thankful that at least I won't have to have the conversation with my mother. She isn't here anymore. I miss her, but I don't miss having to tell her that I have cancer again. We wait to tell my in-laws. I don't want to tell them until I know more. There's no point in worrying them until we understand what we're dealing with. Until I know whether I'm dealing with lymphoma or breast cancer. I don't want to share the news. The only people we tell are the couples of soon-to-be neighbors that are living with us while our homes at Trios Village are being built. They're home when we get the news. They had a sense that something was going on with me. Just before leaving for a weekend folk festival, I tell them, "I just learned that I have cancer again. We don't have any details yet." Scott and I then leave, allowing each of us time and space to process the information. It's earlier in 2014, and I'm struggling with my professional identity. I had a great opportunity to teach educational technology, including digital identity, and I loved it. It was an online class as part of a master's in education program. My students loved the course. But alas, the program director told me I could not teach again. I was a lowly PhD student, and this was a master's level course. They would only consider me if I completed my PhD. I applied for a tenure-track job where I feel like I'm an ideal candidate. I have all the qualifications except that I'm still working on my PhD. I'm told that I didn't get the job because with so many applicants, they found someone who was more qualified than me. It's a message. The market's flooded with PhDs in education. And I'm not so young. This isn't my first or even my second career. At the end of May, I moved to California. My dissertation project is going off the rails. I'm not ready to walk away yet, but also I don't know how to move forward. I struggle with my identity. Who am I? Who do I want to be? And then I hear those words, "You have breast cancer." At 43 years old, I'm a young breast cancer patient. I start a blog. I call it BC Becky for Breast Cancer Becky. I end the About Me page with the line, "Today, my goal in life changes. I want to be identified as a breast cancer survivor, as the alternative doesn't look so grand." It's June 14th, 2014, a Saturday. While I await the biopsy and other test results, I find myself uncertain and wondering, what should I be hoping for? If you're going to have breast cancer, the next question is, what kind of breast cancer? My problem is, I don't want to do a lot of reading about the different types. Instead, I only want to know about the best kind to have, whatever that is, so I can hope that's what I have. But I don't know enough about breast cancer to have any idea what I should be hoping for. I feel something on the outer edges of my breast. I'm concerned. Am I feeling cancer spread to my lymph nodes? This feeling and these thoughts repeat themselves throughout the day. I hope the cancer's localized and hasn't spread. Everything I know about cancer tells me that spread is bad. Talking to my mother, she says, "You don't have the biopsy results yet. It might not be cancer." She's in denial. A small part of me is too. Nothing will be confirmed until the biopsy results come back. And yet 3 different specialists tell me that they would be surprised if it isn't breast cancer. Tears stream from my eyes as I focus on the current medical conditions tab in my online patient portal, where I see the words breast cancer for the first time. My hopes that it might not be breast cancer are shattered. Seeing it in writing for the first time is like a wave hitting me in the face and knocking me off my feet. Reality is starting to set in. Now I ask myself, what should I be hoping for? It's August 2023, and I'm waiting again, but this time I know what to hope for. They found enlarged lymph nodes in my right axilla. That's my right underarm. It was a CT scan that showed the enlarged nodes. A biopsy confirmed that it was cancer. Fortunately, this CT scan also showed that there were no signs of cancer in my liver or lungs. I'm waiting on the results of a bone scan, which will tell me if the cancer is terminal. The biopsy results only told me it was cancer. They didn't have enough of a sample to tell me what kind of cancer. It could be lymphoma, but the location makes it more suspicious of breast cancer. My family doctor thinks it might be lymphoma. The surgeon thinks it is breast cancer. I don't know which would be worse. Either might be treatable, even if the treatments are horrible. What should I hope for? This time, I hope that if it's breast cancer, it's just a regional recurrence. That is, it is just in the lymph nodes of my axilla and nowhere else. If it's in my bones, then it's stage 4 breast cancer, which doesn't have a cure. If it's not in my bones, then they'll do surgery to remove the lymph nodes in my right axilla. Only then will I get a decent biopsy that tells me exactly what I'm dealing with. For now, I wait. I'm comforted by the knowing that there's nothing I can do to change the outcome. I can focus on the work I need to do. We hope to move into our new home sometime in the next few months, but first I need to paint it. Once I have the surgery, I won't be able to do anything physical, and especially anything with my right arm. For now, I will focus on painting and try to keep thoughts of cancer out of my mind. The second time around, I had a lot less anxiety around the diagnosis. In my younger years, I had imagined being told I had cancer. I had imagined how I might respond, thinking that my reaction would be, "Get this out of me!" Only it wasn't. Surgery was the last thing I wanted. My anticipated reaction and actual reaction were very different. That realization taught me not to plan. This stops the worst-case scenarios from running through my head. In 2023, instead of planning, I work on distraction. I find things to do to keep me busy. Fortunately, I'm a project coordinator for a large construction project, Treehouse Village Eco-Housing, a place that will soon be my new home. In addition to other tasks, I have been managing the painting of 30 condos by volunteer future neighbors. I shift my focus to painting my own home. I want to do all the painting myself, or at least as much as I can before surgery. Fortunately, my new neighbors will step in to help finish anything that I cannot. This project gives me focus for my days. Between painting and taking my puppy dog to the beach, I keep busy physically, exhausting myself. This helps me spend less time worrying about the unknown. Had I been living in the US, I would have had test results within days of the initial CT scan. Fortunately, I know enough about breast cancer now to know that treatment isn't urgent. The difference between a few days and a few weeks is not significant. If the cancer is spread to my bones, then treatment will be palliative. Either way, it's growing slowly. We had been tracking abnormal test results for months before the CT scan, so waiting another month for treatment isn't going to make a significant difference. At least that's what I tell myself. That's what helps me manage the uncertainty while waiting for a diagnosis. It's a Tuesday, and I call my family doctor's office. The receptionist talks about my scan results in a way that I know they are in, but she's unable to give them to me. She needs a doctor to sign off on the results first. I call back the next morning. The receptionist points out that my doctor is away and won't be returning for a week and a half. I simply cannot wait that long to get the test results, especially when I know they're available. Someone needs to tell me if I'm going to live or if I'm going to die. I bump into a friend on her way to work. She happens to work in the same doctor's office. I don't like to lean on her for things like this. It feels like crossing a boundary that I don't want to cross. I totally break down. Through tears, I highlight my frustration. I just need someone to tell me the results. It doesn't matter whether they're good or bad. I cannot live with not knowing, especially when I know the results are available. A few hours later, I get a call back from the receptionist. A doctor has reviewed the scan results and has let me know that I can tell you that they are clear. I take a deep breath, and I ask her to email me the report. I break down in relief. I had no idea the weight I was carrying.